Okay, let's do an audio check here. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay before we get going. I may turn off my webcam at some point. If you see me look up, I'm not having a seizure. I'm just looking up on my upper screen there because I have to, I have a couple screens on top of each other, so I have to look higher. So can everybody see and hear me okay? Let's get that out of the way first. Make sure all the audio and all that kind of good stuff is working. Going once, going twice. Nobody's answering me. You know, that's another thing on these client support. Very little feedback from you guys. You guys kind of don't talk to me much and give me much feedback on these. You know, I'm here to answer your questions and any problems. And technically, if you don't have any, I could just shut the room and leave, okay? So, you know, bring some questions here to make this worth your while, okay? I think that's really important to keep that in mind. Frank, are you here? I think you may be here. Frank, are you here? If you're here, answer in the questions window, because I do want to address a couple things for you. Okay, you are here, good. All right, so listen, Frank, couple things, all right? Now, this is a fairly private webinar, so nobody's going to be seeing this. But couple things here. You sent maybe 15 tickets in to our customer support asking them something about your account. Now, I've checked personally all your accounts. You're turned on for everything. All your software is working, everything on our end. So if you're having a problem with something on your end, the next thing is you gave us some account number starting with a 2 that sounded like a NInjaTrader account. All right, we have nothing to do with NInjaTrader. If you don't get NInjaTrader data into your platform, our indicators are not going to work. All right, you have to have data, you have to have a connection. And if you're not getting that, or if you have a new account number, you have to go to NInjaTrader, not us. So giving us a ticket that something's wrong with your NInjaTrader account isn't going to help you. Okay, you need to contact Ninja. Okay, so I mean, there were maybe 15 or 20 tickets in from you telling us that you had a NInjaTrader problem. What are we supposed to do with that? Why would you do that? Why would you keep ticketing us for a NInjaTrader account problem? Okay, it's annoying. And then we answer you and you just keep sending the same thing back to us that you're having an account number problem. And I'm not sure you're getting all our emails. The next problem is, you know, your subscription payment, okay? We sent you maybe 3 emails saying that you were all up to date, you didn't have to pay again, and then you paid again. So now, don't pay again until April, okay? I want to make sure you understand that personally, okay? Because you paid twice and you didn't need to, and we told you not to. So why did you do that? I mean, we gave you several emails telling you not to pay again. So I want you to clearly tell me right now that you understand you do not need to pay us again until April. Do you understand that? Yes, it went through. You have 2 payments that came through in February. So we're not going to return that to you. And I'll tell you why, because it costs us money to return payments, and then we have double processing fees and all that kind of stuff. So let's just keep the payment the way it is and don't pay us again until April, okay? I just want to make sure you understand that. So don't submit a March payment. Is that clear? Just want to make sure we're on board, because it's very hard to go back and forth on on emails with this because I'm not even sure you read our emails. Make sure you always check your inbox, your junk inbox, in case you don't hear back from us. All right, so no more payments until April. Okay, let me know you understand that. Okay, so you've paid February and now you've paid March. So you do not owe us that. No, you were not late. You paid right on time. You paid on the 1st, and then you paid us again today. So you paid 2 payments in February. So you weren't really late. All right, the next one is due in April. So April 1st is when you'll make your next payment. Okay. All right, just want to make sure that you got this down. So that's why I'm kind of spending a little time with it, because you're so far away, you're overseas. So this is the best format for me to talk to you about. All right, okay, so I think you're good now, right? And then work with Ninja. Once Ninja's going, all right, you need to get data in Ninja, then you should be okay. So focus on that, all right? But we can't help you with that. That's between you and Ninja. All right, okay, great. Okay, cool. All right, so how's everybody else doing out there? All right, any questions or issues for today? Feel free to bring them up. So feel free to type them in. All right, a couple things I need to go over, of course, are my usual risk control thing. I think everybody knows this. I'm looking through the entire list here of people. I think pretty much people have this is not their first rodeo, so they've been here before. So on the disclaimer, we can't guarantee anything. Past performance doesn't guarantee future performance. We trade in a realm of probabilities. So we want you to know how to do risk control. Please check with your money manager or financial advisor before implementing any suggestions that we may have. All right, our books are available, of course. I think everybody knows that by now, and our software. So just wanted to go through that. So it's on the record. All right, so I've got TradeStation coming up. I've got Ninja. Anybody having any problems out there with any of the platforms? Those of you, how many of you are using now the new NInjaTrader? That would be the one where you have to log in with your username and password. Many people are using that. I just want to make sure everybody's okay on that. All right, Frank is okay. I'm still using the legacy version. Okay, I find the new Ninja logging in and stuff like that kind of redundant. So I'm staying on the legacy as long as I can. Our software has been thoroughly tested and works fine on whatever version you are using, except maybe Ninja 7 at this point. I think they've discontinued that, okay? All right, so Al, you're using that, and Frank, you're using that as well. All right, cool. Al, any problems with it? Okay, I think you've been on there for a while, right? No, technically, Frank, legacy is 8, okay? 8.2 is where they venture into the other newer login. So they still consider the legacy version, the 8, that works off the key codes. Okay, so far, so good. All right, good. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. How about TradeStation? Any problems with TradeStation? I've got TradeStation in front of you right now. We have not noticed any issues. The thing with TradeStation, just make sure you load enough history onto a chart, because if you don't, some of the indicators like the owl may not go back far enough for you. So if that's the case, just make sure you load a little bit more history on there so it can look back further, so you get the proper readings on whatever current data you're looking at, okay? All right, I just did a webinar for our Yummy clients that's now on YouTube, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn, I guess is what they call that. So you can go back and view that. I would recommend doing that on YouTube. But if you're interested in what I think is going to happen with not only the stock market over the next year, but the housing market, you can check that out. Okay. All right. Now, EW as well. So Frank, on the Elliott wave, you had contacted with one of your tickets that you needed a code for that. We sent it to you. If you did not get it, check your junk email. But again, none of your scanners and none of your charting software is going to work if you don't have data into your platform for the most part. Okay. All right. So if you need codes for more of your software after you get data, if you're still having problems, let us know. Now, I'll tell you, I have a couple machines here that run the HP. I have a couple HP machines, and some of those machines, they had a BIOS update, and a BIOS update is kind of a big deal, so you want to do those. But when you do the BIOS update, that's going to wipe out, that's going to change your MAC address. So that may give your NinjaTrader a hard time. In other words, when you do that MAC address, you may have to enter in your login information again for your data. So that may be what you're experiencing, Frank. And you may even have to reinsert the activation codes again. All right. And if you don't have those, our support team will be glad to resend those to anybody that needs that. But those are specific for people running Hewlett-Packards, okay, computers. You're not going to have any problems on TradeStation. It didn't affect anything there, but it did affect NinjaTrader, so be aware of that. And that's only for HP computers, PCs. All right, and that was a recent, I think, BIOS update that came out. All right, other than that, how is everybody doing? Okay. Looks like we may be getting a final hook in the overall markets right now. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe in the Dow Jones here, I've got it up here on Ninja, I'll just use this, is that we're seeing this final hook up. And you know, the hook up, we've talked about that before here. That's basically nothing more than a minor 4 and a minor 5 inside the dominant trend. So, you know, when you have any trend in the market, any impulsive trend like this, all right, if you go back to the starting point, you may have to go to a lower time frame, but you may be able to see it like you can here. So we got a 1 up here, a 2 here, a 3 here, a 4 here, and a 5. And so we can also, once we see that a little clearer, go into our drawing tools and do some extensions here. So kind of like this and like this. And so it looks like we got a little higher movement up to a short-term target on 5. Okay, so maybe 39.5, maybe another 1,000 points, 900 points up before we're in a target. So we're getting close to the end of this move up that we've been in since, you know, basically October. But that hook, getting back to the hook, all right, so this hook here, okay, represents the 4 and the 5, okay? So that's why you usually look for that hook before, you know, really anticipating the end of the trend. Notice you didn't have it here. There's no hook here, okay? None. So the chances are that this was not the end of this wave up. And sure enough, you got a minor pullback and then another high. But now we've got the hook. So now the major trend is probably coming close to being done. So this also is something you can use when you actually are on each individual stock. If you see a hook at the end of a move and you're thinking about, let's say you had a wave 3 and you're thinking about shorting down to wave 4, wait for the hook. Okay, because you get it more often than not. If you don't see it and it sells off, then go to a lower time frame and you'll probably see the hook there. Okay. Sometimes you don't see waves as clearly as we can see it on this here. In other words, the 1, 2, the inside waves. So you got the parent, which is the trend, and somebody has often described these inside waves kind of like as the children, so to speak. So you gotta be able to count the children, and sometimes you can't do that unless you go to a lower time frame. Okay, so keep that kind of in mind about that. I think that's important. And of course, you know, you're going to have bearish divergence, but you know that can last a while, right? So that's not alone enough of a reason. Okay, so just I think that's important because I think no matter what you trade, you can see that, you know, hook developing. All right, I do want to take a quick look here at the cryptos. All right, so that's kind of been moving up pretty nicely here. And notice here, we haven't really gotten that significant of a pullback, but we haven't also, we've gotten a little bit of a hook here, okay? So here's a hook possibility here, okay? So this could be getting ready to move back down at this particular point. So I'm thinking cryptos may not be quite pulling back enough. We need some more profit taking, all right? So if you're in this and you wanted to take profits on this move up, you certainly could do that and then wait for the pullback to end and then go back in. If you're long term, you got to have that stop pretty low because we haven't had a big pullback yet. So you're probably going to keep your stop under here someplace. And again, that's not only for the crypto market, but that's for any market that you would trade for that matter, okay? So keep that in mind as well. All right, so anybody have anything else, okay? This is, again, remember, this is your webinar, not mine. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. On the Elliott Wave course or all our online courses, you know, you have 24/7 access, and that's basically forever, okay? So you definitely can go in and out of those courses whenever you want. If for some chance you're getting locked out of your account, all right, give us a ticket and we'll reset you, okay? Frank, we've checked all your accounts and you are not locked out of anything, so you should be fine in accessing the VIP area where all the courses are. All right, let's see what else we can talk about here. If you're using Ninja and you want real-time data, you know, you're gonna have to pay for that, okay, in some form or fashion. You either gotta get your brokerage account being able to get into the new platform and then tie in with that, or you need to buy data from NinjaTrader. Now, I do have a question for those of you using the new version, the newest version of Ninja. Is there an issue? I think there still is an issue with the TD Ameritrade account. Is that true for every? I know, like Jim, you're able to connect, but I don't know if everybody is yet. Is there a problem on that? Is the NinjaTrader able to connect to the Schwab TD Ameritrade situation or data? Al, are you able to connect on that? Jim, I know you are, right? Had a few people, I think, that couldn't. Lewis, who's here today, gave us a nice workaround on being able to at least be able to connect to the end of day data, rather. Okay. So Al's saying he's now connected here. Okay. What version, Al, of NinjaTrader are you using? I assume probably it's one of the latest ones. I imagine, okay, so that's the newest. Can you go under help and about and grab the version, copy and paste it into the questions for us? I would do it for mine, but mine's still technically considered legacy, okay? So put that in there and let people know what version. Yeah, take your time. All right, or Jim, you can do that too as well. John, I think you're still using, like me, I call it the legacy version. Eventually one day, I guess we'll all have to switch over to the new one. But apparently too, we've had quite a few people, you know, sign up for NinjaTrader recently, downloaded the newest version, and they, you know, again, they've changed some things to make getting their free data a little more difficult. So if that's the case, I put up in the forum area, in the VIP area, a place where you can go to and grab the steps to find the free data and connect to it. I don't think it shows up at the top. Like, for example, in my situation here on the legacy version, I go to connections and it's right here. Okay. However, in the new NinjaTrader, it's not there, from my understanding. Okay. So you gotta go into tools or something like that and go in and find it. But anyway, I put the instructions, thanks to Lewis up there, in that area, so you can read those and see if you can access it. All right, Al's using 8.1.2.1. All right, I'm not sure. Hopefully that's the newest. I think that is the newest according to Al. All right, so is that the same, Jim, as you're using? And for the record right now, is anybody here that's currently here not able to connect to their TD Ameritrade or their Schwab account? Now, I think maybe Stuart, if you're here, I don't see you here, but I think we had one client that could not connect to that. Okay, so you certainly should be. Okay, so now Jim is offering a comment here. He says the TD data on the lower time frames is slower on Ninja than on Thinkorswim. Now that's probably because of the third-party integration of some sort. You have like an extra layer to get it in there. So that may be a problem on the lower time frames. I hear you. And Al, one more question on your, and Jim, I think probably, did you guys pay for the module, or are you using the free version of Ninja? How do they work that? Do you have to have an account now to use the Ninja in order to connect to other data brokers? Did they change that? Because in the legacy version, you didn't. So I'm kind of interested to see how they are working that now. All right, so Al's saying they are phasing out TOS accounts over the next 2 to 3 months. Maybe why some cannot get data. Well, Al, does that mean you're going to lose it? Okay, Jim's got the same platform as you, Al, so that's good. So those guys familiar with Thinkorswim. So when you say they're going to get rid of the TOS accounts, what exactly does that mean? Don't they still have the TOS platform on Schwab? Okay, so Al's also saying yes, but they said eventually it will work once the transition is done. All right, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, because you're getting it working already. Are you saying it will take another 2 to 3 months before everybody will have the connection ability in Ninja? Because I had heard from somebody that it's possible they could be doing it in phases. I mean, that, to me, that would really annoy me if, I had data from TD Ameritrade but couldn't get it into NinjaTrader. That would really annoy me. All right, you have it because it's not been phased out. So when it's phased out, are you going to lose it? Okay, Jim's fine so far. So if I'm understanding Al correctly, and you correct me if I'm wrong, so if they phase out Thinkorswim, you're going to lose your data that you currently have. Now you said yes, but temporarily. So I don't know what that means. Are they restructuring their whole third-party data vendor connection? thing at Schwab, or is that NinjaTrader? Probably Schwab, right? Yeah, Schwab. Okay. So that means people like Jim could lose it too if they do that over the next 3 months. So Jim is saying TOS will not be phased out. Okay. But apparently, according to Al, that looks like TOS is going to remain, but it's the connection issue between, I'll say, Schwab and NinjaTrader, that they're revamping their third-party connection module, and apparently they're going to even phase out what's temporarily available now that you, Jim, are using and Al is using with another one. Now, does that mean you're going to be down for a while? Yeah, so the TD Ameritrade will switch, but this, I guess maybe, will you get a new account number at that point? Okay, you'll be down for a while. I think you may want to find out what the definition of a while is. Is that an hour or is that a month or longer? I mean, you know, that's unacceptable. Because what are you going to do for data in the meantime? Jim, what about your futures data? Where is that coming from? Hal says suck wind. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Where do you get your futures data, Jim? Continuum. Okay. So it won't affect your futures data. This is just for stocks, right? Stocks, maybe options, things like that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know. Every time these platforms make a major change like that, oh boy, buckle your seatbelt, right? Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else for us? I'm sorry to take so much time on the NinjaTrader connection, but you know, it's kind of new territory for all of us a little bit, and they change things, and they don't always tell us either. We were actually, if you want to go back in time enough, we were actually I think we were the third-party vendor of that program for NinjaTrader. And at the time, I knew the owner, Raymond, at the time, and it was a small, you know, organization. They had some venture capital that they had gotten back then. So they got started then, and we did a show, where was it? It's either Las Vegas or New York for Intershow, and they liked our stuff and asked us to program for it, so we did it. And then I did a live trading challenge, and I think I was the first one to use the NinjaTrader platform for that. We're going back, you know, a long time. I'm going to say 18 years, maybe 15, whenever they started. And at that particular point, we promoted the Ninja platform and helped them get going. And it was a lot of fun. And, you know, things were kind of a lot simpler back then, and then they've grown huge now. So we're pretty much a number at this point to them, like everybody else. So sometimes we don't really know what's going on until we hear from you guys that there's a problem, especially in the newer versions, since I'm using the legacy all the time. And will continue to use it until I actually have to switch over or they don't update it properly. So that's, you know, that's my thought process on that, but I'll have to eventually get on too. I'm just trying to let them get all these connection bugs and everything else out of the way before I switch over. So, all right, so that is it for today. I want to thank everybody for being here. Okay, Frank, I'm glad you were here because I really wanted to get to the bottom of your issues there and get you to kind of realize that if it's Ninja, you got to work with them to get that new account number or find out what your account number is. Okay, so that's important. My pleasure, everybody. Great to be here. All right, so we didn't cover too much education content, but we'll cover some more next week. But I think kind of like, look for those waves inside major trends. I think you can take that away today. And that hook that we always talk about is really the minor 4 to 5 on the inside the trend. That's what creates it. All right. So now we didn't look up any stocks today, but do not worry, because that's what we do on Friday, because we have stock analysis Friday. So please show up for that. We'll be glad to look up any stocks or ETFs you want me to at that point. That's kind of a really fun session. Just go to YouTube. It's right on YouTube, okay? All right, so we'll post this in our hidden area or secret area inside YouTube. And you guys know how to access that through the VIP area. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can't find these videos on client support. I keep these private because we talk sometimes about some personal information. I don't want that out publicly. So those are hosted as unlisted and private, but you can access those through that link we give you, of course, in the client support VIP area. All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you back here next week. Have a great week, okay? Remember, always use risk control. All right, see ya.